Hey, what's up, everyone? Gaming Arts One here, and today I'm going to talk briefly about Spyro and whether or not we're going to get a new game in the future. Now, as it currently stands, it doesn't look like it's going to happen unless Activision says otherwise. And as a lot of people know, the last major Spyro game that we got was Spyro the Reignited Trilogy, which came out back in 2018. It was released for the Unreal Engine 4, for the PS4, Xbox One, Nintendo Switch, and Microsoft Windows. And it was a game that for the most part, received a fairly good reception from various gaming publications. People like the re-imaged versions of the first three Spyro games that came out between 98 and 2000. And honestly, as big as Spyro was back in the day, it seems like for the most part, especially as it related to the teens decade, he seemed pretty much irrelevant up until like 2018. And for those who don't know, like the second half of the teens decade was pretty much a time period we got to see revivals and so many classics. We got to see the Insane Trilogy, which I think came out back in like 2017. Then we got the Spyro Reignited Trilogy back in 2018. And then like in 2020, we got to see Streets of Rage 4, which is a sequel to Streets of Rage 3, which came out in 1994, I believe. There's been like a huge dose of nostalgia in relation to video game releases within the past 7 or 8 years, and I still feel that the classics are still like somewhat of an attraction in this day and age, despite the fact that the landscape of gaming has changed a lot and it caters more towards RPGs and shooters and all that stuff. I still think that the platform genre is still somewhat of an attraction in this day and age, and I do feel that Activision should definitely capitalize off of the success of the Spyro Reignited Trilogy, which came out back in 2018, because even though Spyro is not as much of an attraction as Sonic the Hedgehog or Super Mario or what have you, I still feel that a lot of people who grew up like in the Spyro series back in the late 90s, early 2000s, they would be thrilled to see a brand new Spyro game. And I'm pretty sure that a brand new Spyro game would definitely appeal to a lot of children, because some would go on record and argue that a lot of kids' games is not as good as what they used to be like 25 years ago, but that's all something based off of how you feel personally. I would not mind seeing a new Spyro game sometime in the future. I just don't know if it's going to happen. I don't know if it'd be a huge attraction on the PS5 or the Xbox Series X or even Nintendo Switch for that matter. And for the most part, Spyro, I think, is more designed to appeal towards children than it is adults. So I do think a new Spyro game would be somewhat of an attraction on the Switch console, even though it'll probably get overshadowed by anything Mario or Zelda related. But it would be cool to see a new Spyro game sometime in the future. And even though the sales may not be what Activision would expect, I do feel that a new Spyro game would at least break 1 mil if it's promoted properly.